If you have ever wondered why your uploads don't get any views, keep watching, because I'm making a game where you are the impression algorithm. After releasing my first video last week, talking about my first game jam experience, I went down deep the YouTube rabbit hole trying to understand why YouTube videos perform the way they do. And now this was purely out of curiosity, because this channel was supposed to be a way for me to channel my game dev experience and nothing else. But I still was interested in the way how all of this works. And during my research, I kept reading about the same things. The most important thing to get views is your packaging, which kind of means your title, your thumbnail, and your first 30 seconds of the video have to fit together and attract viewers. And after that, it is important to keep the viewers you are attracting by making quality content. Easy as that. The other thing I read during my research was that all of this is bullshit and no one really knows how any of this works. I myself, as someone who has worked as software developer in data-heavy applications, I think the former is more accurate, but who am I to judge? Anywho, while I was thinking about the YouTube impression algorithm, I thought that it would be a fun idea to implement my own impression algorithm. Not as a simulator or a prediction tool, but as an incremental game. Because, I want to do game development, so making it a game kind of seems to be the right path here. The game I was thinking about, the player has a button they can click and generate new videos. The videos have a couple of informations like title, video text, and some stats maybe. The player can buy upgrades to see more context about a video, and based on the information shown for each video, the player can then choose where he wants to push this video. Like, for example, a Minecraft video gets pushed into the gaming category or something like this. And obviously when the player makes a good choice on where he pushes the video, he will get more impressions. More impressions lead to more views, and more views lead to the player getting more money. The player can then choose the money to further push a video or buy upgrades. And yeah, so that's roughly the scope I had in mind. At the same time, I started to think about actually working on this game idea. The Brainless Game Jam theme was announced. Little guys. And I know it's a little bit far-fetched, but in my head this idea was forming that my incremental game could be a little bit more than just a number go up game, where you work on this debate: small content creators, aka the little guys, versus big commercial content creators, aka the big guys. So I thought it would be nice to implement my game in a way that it would fit into this game jam, because for one, I really enjoyed taking part in the Juniper Dev Game Jam, and I kind of wanted to do something like this again. And the other thing is, I think it would be really helpful, because taking part in a game jam gives you a guaranteed amount of players who can play your game, and this means you get feedback very early on. And by early on, I mean I get feedback after 2 weeks of development, and if the game in the game jam does not perform very well or is not enjoyed by the players, I know that it will probably not make sense to keep working on this game and start something new. Anyway, so far I have been working on my first-ish prototype. First-ish because I don't think you can really call it a prototype yet. I do have a layout that looks more like an Excel sheet and a few base mechanics needed to test a few of my UI things. So as of now, I do have 3 text files filled with a handful of video titles, categories, and video text. I have this video generator function that randomly puts those 3 things together in what I call a video card, and this video card can then be displayed in a new video panel where the player sees all the unpushed videos. And later on I will add a few more stats to this and also add a little bit obviously more logic, but this was just for me so that I could test the user interface. The other thing I can do as of now is I can display my core stats. And by the way, keep in mind I've started doing game development 2 weeks ago, so if this doesn't seem like a lot of progress to you, it is a lot of progress to me. Anyway, I do have this metrics that I can update, and I have this push button that only prints out the message that my video was pushed to the selected category. That is what I have by now. But anyway, what I want to add in the next few days, I want to have this clicker button that when you click the button, you generate new videos. And also I want to improve my whole video generation. I don't want it to be completely random what the videos are. I think I will create a a JSON data structure where I map categories and tags. Within this mapping, I will also create a word list for title templates with placeholder words. And whenever I select a category or tags, I will just fill the title with placeholder words from this mapping. This way I can generate hundreds or thousands of unique video titles, which will help me a long way because I really don't want to handwrite thousands of titles. Yeah, and obviously the other thing I need to implement is my reward function, as in I need to check if the category the player pushes the videos actually match, and then I will have to come up with a way of actually rewarding the player with money or little guy or big guy scores. And yeah, also one last thing I need to add are upgrades, and the very first will be to add an auto clicker to my button, because I know that a lot of people who will take part in this game jam don't like clicker games, and if someone doesn't want to click a button to generate new videos, this upgrade will be as cheap as possible to not have to click buttons. Once all of this is done, then I really consider it to be a first prototype, because at that point I will be able to tell if the game is fun or not. Anyway, that's it for today's update. Let me know in the comments what you think about this game idea, and if you enjoy these type of videos, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!